Hello, movie friends. Welcome back to the show. This is Anthony.
And it's James. Happy 2020. We made it, everybody. Hopefully this year is, a little better than the last couple. We're very excited about this year because there's a ton of great new films coming out. We're going to talk more about that this week on the show. But let's start off with movie news number 31 right now. Is that where we're at? Holy
yeah, lots
guacamole.
of weeks.
Box office, the year ends with 60% behind the total of 2019. So $4.5 billion domestically in the United States was made at the box office. Better than I thought would happen after 2020. I'm expecting 2022 to blow the lid off the box office and maybe have one of the best years of all time. No Way Home is still dominating. They're at $48 million for the last weekend, and they're over $1 billion for sure. Sing 2 made $19 million last weekend. The Matrix Resurrections only made $4 million at the box office last weekend. And right now, it's only grossed $28 million since its U.S. premiere. And that's on a budget of $190 million, not including the marketing budget, which was probably an extra $100 million because they marketed the heck out of that movie, which is crazy, crazy bomb. Huge disappointment. I mean, I don't know if it means that people just didn't want to see the movie. Personally, we didn't like it that much. It was okay, but like compared to the original Matrix, it really wasn't on par with it. But I think it was probably a combination of maybe a lot of people didn't want a fourth movie in the franchise, even though the first one of the best movies of all time. But maybe word of mouth, people didn't like it too much. That's probably what happened.
I think especially the last one left a bad taste in people's mouths, and then also I think it was a bad idea for anyone to release a movie anywhere near Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing as well.
It came out the week after Spider-Man, and by the second weekend, Spider-Man almost made $100 million again, so it was just bad to even put a movie in the calendar there.
I mean, just keep going. The Kingsman made $3.7 million last weekend, and that's only grossed $16 million. Mm-hmm. West Side Story is only grossed $28 million total on a $100 million budget, and it only made $2 million last weekend. So Spider-Man has just absolutely dominated the box office, which is, we've seen this happen before, but I don't think like to this extent where just one movie has completely just blown the lid off everything.
Well, the first weekend of its release, Spider-Man No Way Home made up 92% of the entire gross of the box office, which had never been done before.
Well, all you had to do was look at your theater when you were buying tickets, and every screen was Spider-Man.
So, I mean, I think it's still great that people are going to the theaters. I think the theaters, they just need that influx of cash. Something like Spider-Man is a major player for them making profits in the entire year. Like this is their big season when a superhero movie comes out. So
it's like a summer town, depending on like the summer months, like in Jaws, to make their money.
Exactly. So it's important for the theater owners to make this money now. But also, I think that West Side Story has an older audience. So I think a lot of older people are not going to the theater still, which is why any film that usually would have a higher audience of elderly people generally aren't performing well now.
That can make sense, especially because a lot of people who love the Matrix franchise, they're older for sure. I feel like maybe not a ton of Gen Z people have seen the original Matrix or the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Kingsman. But, I mean, I'm still shocked by Matrix only making $20 million. That's pretty nuts.
It's the lukewarm response.
Yeah.
In an unimpressive trailer.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to today. Or what's today's date? Today's Sunday. So today's the 1st. So
Second.
It's the 2nd. Oh, I'm sorry. We're recording this on the 1st.
You're doing great, man.
So yesterday was the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter Return to Hogwarts. We're going to watch it right after we film this. So I can't wait to finally check it out because, again, today's the 1st. And it looks amazing. We love Harry Potter. Those are the most feel-good movies of all time. And we also have maybe some Harry Potter episodes coming this week. Who knows?
Possibly. It's possible.
It might be on the
It might be in the cards.
Maybe not. Who knows?
And then Spider-Man No Way Home, it surpassed The Dark Knight and Rogue One in domestic box office sales. It is now at $563 million domestic gross, which is just absolutely massive. It looks like this film will finish out at about $1.7 billion worldwide would be my guess.
Is that top 10 all time? Gotta be.
Yeah, it's top 10.
That's crazy.
At the time, The Dark Knight broke the record.
Crazy.
When it first came out.
I'm curious what's going to happen with Doctor Strange if Doctor Strange hits $1 billion.
No, I doubt it.
I don't know, man. They're pretty hyped. It's pretty hyped.
Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man hype.
It might be a little bit because Doctor Strange was so much in No Way Home.
Yeah, but Spider-Man's still king of the mountain.
Oh yeah, for sure. For Marvel in terms of
just for superheroes, it always is like everyone's favorite superhero generally.
True, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Strange gets near a bill.
I'd be surprised if Doctor Strange hit 150 million. I'm guessing it'll hit
opening weekend.
Yeah, 120 is my guess.
We'll see.
Which is like crazy. We're talking about that as like a slow.
It might hit $1 billion.
Maybe it'll hit $1 billion, but not. not the same as Spider-Man numbers.
The status piece of news this week is Betty White, the beloved actress who starred in The Golden Girls, and we've seen all over social media and commercials and stuff like that the last several years, passed away at 99, just a few days before her 100th birthday. So rest in peace to an incredible actress, and what a career she had. She was still acting. I think wasn't she in a Super Bowl commercial this past Super Bowl? I feel like
yeah, she was in
I think
something.
she was in, and then she was in that Snickers commercial. So she was still working, which is actually really incredible. So very unfortunate, but I mean, to live to 99, that's absolutely incredible. We can all hope to be that lucky.
Yeah, that's a long life. Next up, good news about House of the Dragon, which is the new Game of Thrones prequel series that will be coming out on HBO and HBO Max this year. Now it's 2022, so this year. The series creator, George R.R. Martin, he praised this new prequel series as dark, powerful, and visceral. And as someone who wasn't happy with Game of Thrones, how it turned out for the TV series, since he's praising this, I think that's a really good sign that it's going to be good.
And he also has a cut of it, so
Yeah, he's getting
like a percent. So of course he's going to say, "Oh yeah, it's real
the
good.
best thing ever."
You should definitely watch it. Everybody, sign up for HBO and
Also,
watch
keep
it.
buying my books. But I can't wait to see it. We love Matt Smith, and he's the lead of this series, so it's very exciting to see him in property like Game of Thrones.
Next up, Dwayne Johnson declines Vin Diesel's invitation to return for Fast 10. There was no chance, he said. According to Johnson, we had spoken months ago about this and came to a clear understanding, so he will not be coming back to the franchise.
I don't blame him, because what Vin Diesel did, he basically made this Instagram post video, a selfie video, saying that, like, talking about how his kids miss Dwayne Johnson, they call him Uncle Dwayne, and how he wants to reunite the whole family for the finale. And it's like, bro, this is pretty, like, why are you doing this on social media? It's kind of like...
They had a falling out, right?
Yeah, they had a falling out. It's pretty uncool to do this on social media. Why not speak to Dwayne directly? Because it puts pressure on Dwayne to have to make a public response. You know what I mean?
Especially when you bring kids involved.
I feel like it was a weird way to approach it, and it seemed pretty desperate and kind of like I'm guessing that Vin probably didn't even think that. My guess is like maybe he didn't even think that he would say yes, but he just wanted to put it on social media to make Dwayne Johnson seem like an asshole or something.
Well, either way, it's absurd they're making a 10th film, but we know that Dwayne Johnson's bringing in a lot of that box office the last several. You know, he's a big part of that franchise.
Yeah,
now.
And my guess is like Dwayne's like, I'm the top dog on every set, and Vin probably wants to be top dog of F10. So I just don't think that two big alphas like that can mix in a.
I think we can say that Dwayne's the ultimate alpha.
Oh
between
yeah,
the two of
absolutely,
them.
absolutely. That's why he's not being in it.
Next up, Rebel Moon. First concept art revealed by Zack Snyder. This is the Netflix movie that's scheduled to begin principal photography in the next few months, and this is going to be cool. Is this the one that there's
the space one?
The space
yeah.
one around Mars, or
multiple planets,
yeah.
like around Jupiter and stuff.
So I'm down. I love Zack Snyder. I can't wait to check it out.
The concept art looks really cool. They only released a couple of images, but it looks pretty interesting.
And him playing with sci-fi outside of the superhero world is super fascinating.
I want more original content. So
I think his aesthetic's going to work really well.
100%. And then, like we mentioned earlier during our Matrix Resurrections review, it was officially confirmed that Hugo Weaving was initially supposed to return as Agent Smith. He would have played, the character.
We won't spoil who, if Agent Smith's in the movie, you haven't seen it, but he would have returned as Agent Smith. He would have
returned, and it would have made sense given that everyone else returned except for Lawrence Fishburne, but unfortunately it did not work out scheduling-wise, although I would say that Hugo Weaving dodged a bullet here.
Yeah, for sure. So you could probably say Lawrence Fishburne probably watched it like, oh, good thing they didn't ask me to be in this.
I don't think he's going to watch it because he didn't get asked to be in it. I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset if I was him too.
I'd be like, bro, you know how important I was to the first one working?
Killing Eve Season 4 teaser reveals what's in store for these killer women. And Killing Eve is a really, really cool show. We both are fans of it, so we can't wait to check out the next season.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. The last season finale was pretty wild, so I'm very curious to see where they take it from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Batman has been confirmed by Warner Brothers to just being released in theaters for 46 days. So
thank goodness.
It's going to be the first major Warner Brothers release that's not going to be an HBO Max simultaneous release, which I think Warner Brothers learned over the last year. Like, we're not making the same kind of money we would have made if we just went with theater only and then throw them on HBO Max after a month. That's what I think they always should have done, was theaters for a month.
That's what Marvel
then,
was doing.
Then put it on HBO Max. That's it.
Besides Black Widow, Marvel started doing that right away with Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And then it was so surprising to me when they still went ahead with doing with same-day release digital and theater. And that movie could have made a lot more money, but thank goodness we're getting a sequel for that film. But that was still like up in the air if they would make a sequel or not. Or the part 2, I mean.
Dune made, I think, 54 million opening weekend, if I remember correctly.
It could have made easily 100.
70 or 80 million for sure if it wasn't an HBO Max same-day release.
For sure, yeah. Will Arnett is replacing Armie Hammer and Taika Waititi's Armie Hammer and Taika Waititi's soccer comedy Next Goal Wins. So this is another project that Armie Hammer has to leave. His film, The Death on the Nile, is coming out pretty soon. But aside from that, he's lost all of his roles. He lost the role he was in the movie with Jennifer Lopez. I think that was called Shotgun Wedding.
Yeah.
And then he was in a play, something like that. And he's lost pretty much everything in his career.
And he would have had a lot of work over the next couple of decades.
Yeah, he was a huge star. He was becoming one of the main leading men in Hollywood.
Yeah, so I mean, Taika doing soccer sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe he's playing the coach of a soccer team, maybe because he's pretty old. Will Arnett.
If he's gonna, Will Arnett. Yeah, you're right. He's probably not.
He's
a player.
in his late 40s, early 50s.
Gotta be.
So I'm sure that'll be pretty fun. And also, Ryan Reynolds shared the official first look at his new film with Will Ferrell called Spirited, which is going to be a holiday musical. And he showed a few photos of them.
Someone sent us set photos and videos because they were filming that in Boston.
Patty sent them to us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patty. She's our ear to the ground in Boston.
You're our eyes and ears out there, Patty.
But it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, we know Will Ferrell can sing because he sings sometimes just comedy-wise.
I mean, if you saw Step Brothers, he's the songbird of his generation.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know that.
I didn't know Ryan Reynolds can sing, so I'm curious to see his voice. But, I mean, sign me up. 2 of the funniest guys alive making a musical. Like, sounds great.
Captain Marvel 2 set photo hints that Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie will appear, which I am all on board for because I think Valkyrie is an awesome character, and I'm so curious what that character's arc's going to look going forward, since she's going to be like the queen of Asgard now, and how that will fit in with the MCU.
Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun to see Tessa in there. She's super talented, and I'm sure she is going to work well with Brie Larson because they had a good little moment in Avengers Endgame. And then our final bit of news is that the Boba Fett television series had started airing. Its first episode has been released. It was pretty good. We watched it. We thought it was a pretty interesting setup for what this series is going to be. Very curious to see how Robert Rodriguez and Jon Favreau take the character on this new journey.
I just thought it was a little slow. I understand they're setting up like the Boba Fett origins. And like I wish that the episode was more focused on the Sarlacc pit. Like the whole episode is him escaping the Sarlacc.
Sick.
Because the concept of the Sarlacc is so terrifying, then just having him escape was just like 30
what if
seconds.
It's like he's in his intestines?
Yeah.
And like a never-ending tunnels.
That would have been a great
even,
opening
little
episode.
critters inside of the intestines.
That's what I would have done.
Oh man, that would have been so awesome.
I know. I was watching him like, oh, that was kind of short-lived for like him supposedly dying.
It was
here.
2 shots. Basically.
I think it would have been really cool rather than him on like the journey of being a prisoner and stuff like that.
Oh my god, why didn't you write it?
I mean,
that's
I'm not
a
Jon
great
Favreau.
idea.
John didn't hit me up, man.
Oh,
Hey Favreau,
man.
if you're listening, let me know. I got some ideas.
Yeah,
but it was. I'm sure like it'll speed up a little bit story wise.
It's getting mixed responses, so it's okay.
It doesn't have the charm of Mando yet. Maybe
it doesn't have the excitement either.
And I think the action was just a little slow. Like the fight sequences were a little slow, and the choreography didn't look phenomenal.
It was a little jumbled.
I was like, the bar is set really high with Mando. I think that's a really well made show, and I love that show a lot. So I was expecting like that kind of quality. Not that it's not there production wise, but I think it's just going to take a few episodes to get it going, honestly. But we'll continue watching it and do an episode on it when it's over.
Yeah, we know y'all want to see us review it, so we'll be on that for show.
And that ends our movie news number 31. Get ready for some great episodes this week, everybody.
It's going to be a good one.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Find us on all audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to check out one of these other videos right here for more content on our favorite films and breaking down all kinds of movie content. Thanks so much.